Hello everyone, this is Mayur from Aspire Civil Studio, and in this video we will be talking about application of earthquake load using IS 1893. So on the last video we have talked about the application of wind load using IS 875 part 3. So if you haven't seen that video, you can check it out. The link to that video is given in the description box. So now we will begin with the application of static earthquake load using IS 1893. For the application of earthquake load using IS 1893, we have to define a load pattern first. So here we can go in the define section and then load patterns. Okay, here we have to give a name to the load pattern. I will give as a EX, which is nothing but the static earthquake in X direction. And then in the load pattern section, you have to select the seismic, and self-weight multiplier will be 0. In auto lateral load section, you have to specify the IS code which is you are going to use for the application of earthquake load. So we will be using IS 1893 2016. I'll just click to it and click to add new load. So here we have added the static earthquake load for the X direction. Now the same we have to add for the Y direction. So what I will do is, here I'll just change the name from EX to EY, and I'll just click to add new load. So here you can see static earthquake load for the X direction and Y direction is added. Now we need to modify this load pattern so that we can change certain factors and parameters as per the IS 1893. So for now I'll just click on EX and just click to modify lateral load here. Now we are going to apply for the X direction only. So we need to make sure that the X direction and X direction plus eccentricity and X direction minus eccentricity is turned on, and we need to turn off this Y direction plus eccentricity and Y direction minus eccentricity. And by default eccentricity ratio is 5%. And here if you go to the second section, you can see about the seismic coefficient. So we have to calculate a seismic zone factor. This basically depends on the location of building. So as I have told you earlier on the last video, this building is located in the Mumbai. So you will get the value of a seismic zone factor from the Annex E of IS 1893. So if you just go down, here you can see Mumbai. This Mumbai is located in the seismic zone 3 and the seismic zone factor is 0.16. So here in the ETABS we will take 0.16. Then we have to calculate site type. So you will get the value of site type from the table number 4 of IS 1893. So this is the table number 4. So for this particular structure, we will consider that the soil type is 2, which is for the medium or stiff soil. So here in the ETABS we will give site type as 2. Also we need to calculate importance factor, which is basically depends on the function of building. So if you go to the table number 8 of IS 1893, here you can see table number 8. So for the important structures such as hospital building, government building and school building, the importance factor is 1.5. And for the residential building or commercial building having occupancy more than 200 persons, the importance factor is 1.2. And for the residential building and commercial building having occupancy less than 200%, the importance factor is 1. So for this structure we will take a importance factor as 1 only. Then we need to calculate the response reaction factor. This basically depends on the frame system of the structure. So if you go to the table number 9 of IS 1893, you will get the value of response reaction factor. So you can see this first case for the movement frames system. So movement frame system is applied when the structure is having frames like columns and beams only. And if your structure consists of a shear wall and columns and beams, then you have to go for dual systems. So for this structure, particular structure, we will use dual system only. And then in the first case, you can see building with a ductile RC structural walls and RC special movement resisting frames. So here the special movement resisting frames are nothing but the ductile frames. So for that, the response reaction factor is 5. So why we are going to use ductile frames only? Because you can see in the notes, first note is given that for the RC and steel structure which is located in the seismic zone 3, 4 and 5, we have to design a frame as a ductile. So that's why we are going to use 5 as a response reaction factor for this particular structure. So here in the ETABS we will enter response reaction factor as a 5. Also we need to specify a story range. So top story will be overhead water tank and bottom story will be base. Okay, because the earthquake force will be applied from the base, which is nothing but the foundation. So we'll select the base here for as a bottom story. So now we need to calculate a time period. So the time period for the structure is nothing but the time taken by a structure to complete one vibration under the action of earthquake force. So you'll get the value of a time period from the clause number 7.6 of IS 1893. So if you go to the IS 1893 and clause number 7.6, so here you can see if the building consists of a moment resisting frames only, like beams and columns, then you have to use this formula. So this one first formula is for the RC structure, and this is for the composite structures, and this one is for the steel structure. And if your building consists of RC structural walls only, like the shear walls only, then you have to use this formula. If the building consists of RC structural walls and also the columns and beams, then you have to use this formula. So for now, in the ETABS, we will go with the program calculated. So that ETABS will calculate the value of time period. Then I'll just click to OK. Now also we need to modify EY. Here we need to make sure that y direction plus eccentricity, y direction minus eccentricity is turned on. We need to turn off this for the x direction. And here we have calculated that the seismic zone factor is 0.16, site type is 2, importance factor is 1, and time period we have taken it as a program calculated only. In top story, that will be overhead water tank level, and bottom story will be base, and a response reaction factor we have already calculated from the table number 9, which is going to be 5. And then just click to OK. So this is how you can apply a static earthquake load on the structure. Now we will see the result we are getting under the application of static earthquake load. Like we can see the earthquake force we are getting at any particular story. So for that we need to analyze the ETABS model first. So for that we have to go here in the analyze section and then run analysis. Now here you can see the model is started to get analyzed. So here the model is completely analyzed now. Now we will check the earthquake forces we are getting. So for that we have to go in the display option and then show tables. Okay, and then analysis, and then results, then reaction, and then select the base reaction. Just click to OK. So here in the load case and combo, you have to right click here and you have to select EX1 and EXY. Here EX1 is nothing but the static earthquake force in X direction, and EY1 is nothing but the static earthquake force in Y direction. So in the X direction we are getting static earthquake force as this is the force we are getting at the base level, and in the Y direction we are getting 873 kilonewton load. So in case you want to see the earthquake force at any particular level, so for that we have to go in the display option and then show tables, and then go to structure result, then select story forces and just click to OK. And here in the load case and combos we have to select EX1, and the location will be top or bottom. You will get the same load at the top and bottom, so you can select either of any. Okay, so we'll just go with the bottom, and here you can see at the ground level we are getting this much force, and for the first floor we are getting 500 kilonewton load as a earthquake force, and at overhead water tank level we are getting 43 kilonewton load. This is the static earthquake load in X direction. So now we will right click here in the load case and combos. Now we will see for the Y direction. So I'll just select here EY, and here you can see at the VY, which is nothing but the force in Y direction. So under the static earthquake load in Y direction, at the ground floor we are getting 873 kilonewton load, and this load you can see at any particular level. And for the overhead water tank level we are getting 75 kilonewton load, okay, at the overhead water tank level. This is the static earthquake load in Y direction. So for now we have applied the earthquake load using the static method. So on the next video we will be talking about the application of earthquake load using the dynamic method. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have liked this video, then please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that you can learn something new about the structural engineering field. Also you can share this video between your friends. Thank you so much.